Good morning and welcome to fourth grade math. This is Wednesday lesson 163. You may see up there that we have a 9. That was from yesterday. So this is our first video for today because you had chapel this morning. So hopefully you watched that. If not, make sure that you go and watch those. Pastor wants them out there for you guys to watch and be encouraged from and learn from. So it's not just 9 days. Let's find out how many days we have left, okay? And get my purple marker. Now, I have Max. Max, how many days do we have now? 11? No, you're going up. We're not going up. Besides, that would be counting by 2s. Okay, so let's see. We were at 9. No, we don't multiply. We're subtracting. We subtract 1. You thought we multiplied by 2? That would be 18. 18 days. Guys, Max is getting confused. Max really needs this math class. So we'll let Max listen in on our math class. But Max, we need to subtract 1. 9 minus 1 is what? 8. Very good. All right, so we're going to make an 8. All right, Max made an 8 for us. All right. We'll put the 8 up there on the board. And we'll let Max, well, he's sitting down here on the podium, so. All right, so we have 8 days left, guys. 8 days of school, and that doesn't, the last day you'll only have a couple of videos because you'll have any of the classes that are left will be tests. So, except for, well, there's the reading video and for the quiz and a language video, but that may, yeah, anyway, so you will find out, and that'll all be laid out for you next week. But this week, we just keep working, keep doing everything. Take them one class at a time, one day at a time. I'm going to start with some flashcard review, and then I'm going to let you go take your speed drill, okay? So 9 times 12, 81. 12 times 12, 144. 7 times 12, 84. What? 10 times 11, 110. I am sorry, I said that wrong. 110 is the answer. So 10 times 11 is 110. Very good. 7 times 3, 21. 6 times 9, 54. 9 times 12, 108. 12 times 12, 144. 7 times 12, 84. 10 times 11, 110. 7 times 3, 21. 9 times 6, 54. Very good. All right. Just a review on our formulas. P equals 2 times L plus 2 times W. What is that the formula for? Perimeter of a rectangle. Good job. What about A equals S times S, side times side? What is that one? Area of a square. A equals L times W, length times width. Area of a rectangle. Good job. P equals 4 times S, perimeter of a square, all right? The ones for the square, there's S in the formula, okay? The ones for rectangle, L and W are in the formulas, okay? Pardon me. Okay, so I'm gonna let you go ahead and take your speed drill, lesson 163 speed drill. I don't have the minute up here. I'm sorry, I forgot to get that, but it is on the top of the page. So get that, make sure that you do it for that time limit. When you come back, we'll be looking at this page. It is a review page, so we'll go pretty fast and then you'll get to work on it. All right, and I did actually go check that. So it's 1:30 for that. So you can pause and go take that now. All right. Hope you did well on that. We are looking at our area and perimeter review. We have a rectangle. Remember that a rectangle has its two sides are equal. Okay, the top and the bottom are equal and both sides are equal. So if this were, if we were to do this in inches, it's probably around 2 inches for this one. And then for the length would probably be around 4 inches, is what I'm guessing that I probably did. So we're gonna do it like that. So if you've got 2 inches here and 4 inches here, how do we find the perimeter? What's our formula for perimeter? Remember, that is P equals 2 times L plus 2 times W, okay? So 2 times L, which is the length, which is, hold on, yeah, which is this one, which is 4 inches, so 2 times 4. So we're gonna have our formula P equals 2 times L, in parentheses, plus 2 times W, in parentheses. P equals 2 times 4, plus 2 times, what's the other length? 2, very good, all right. Hopefully you remember that. 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times 2 is what? 4, okay? 8 plus 4, I didn't give myself a whole lot of room, so I'm just gonna stick it over here. P equals 12 inches. Remember, we have to put our length, or we have to label it, right? We have to put the inches or feet or miles or however, whatever else, how they measure it, we need to put that on there, okay? So that's how to do that. How do we find out the area? Okay, area is found out by multiplying 2 of our sides together, right? Because they're the same. So 4 and 8. So A equals length times width. So A equals 4 times 2. What is 4 times 2? 8. And don't forget that for area, we have to put square inches. So 8 square inches would be the area of this rectangle. Okay? When we're dealing with fractions, we can still multiply these together, okay? So what we're gonna do, and I'm going to erase the square, and I'm just gonna put it off to the side here. It may be off the board, and I'll just move it over for later, okay? Switch markers, this one doesn't seem to be doing the greatest. So we can do both perimeter and area using fractions, okay? So P equals 2 times 1.5 plus 2 times 3/4 of a foot, okay? So now we can just turn these into improper fractions and multiply, okay? Oh, now this marker is deciding not to play nice. So 2/1 times 2 times 1 is 2 plus 2 is 3. We put it over 2, right? Now, there's a really simple way. We can cancel. 2 can go to 1, and 2 can go to 1. What number do we have left? If the top here is 1, the bottom is 1, the top is 3, and the bottom is 1. So what number did we have left? It's 3, okay? If you can't see that, then it was 2 over 1 times 3 over 2, and we can cancel. 2 divided by 2 is 1, and 2 divided by 2 is also 1. So we're left with the 3 on the top. So we multiply the 3 by the 1 and get 3, okay? Okay, now, for this one, 2 over 1 times 3 over 4, we didn't have to change that into an improper fraction because it was already a fraction, but we do have to put the 2 over 1, and we can cancel this as well. We put a 1 because 2 divided by 2 is 1. 4 divided by 2 is what? 2, okay? That is something that I've seen you guys mess up before because you divide it by the wrong number, okay? So you've got to make sure that you divide both numbers by the same number, okay? So we divide 2 by 2 and 4 by 2 because 2 is the number we're dividing, okay? So now we have 3 over 2, and 3 over 2 we have to turn back into a proper fraction, which would be 2 goes into 3 one time, and then we've got 1 left over 2, 1.5, which is actually, if you were to look back and you see 1.5 here, turn to 3 over 2, so you could have remembered that. And then add this up, 3 plus 1, and then is 4 and 1/2, and you do it feet, okay? So 4.5 feet would be the perimeter of this rectangle, okay? Pardon me. Sorry about that. All right, so that's the perimeter. But what about area? Okay, let me show you how to do it using area. Okay, area, A, equals length times width. So area equals 1.5 times 3/4. Now we do need to change this into an improper fraction, right? Which was 3 over 2, right? We multiply 3 times 4. Can we cancel any of this? No, we can't, okay? So 3 times 3 is 9. 2 times 4 is 8, okay? We're gonna reduce this. 8 goes into 9 how many times? 1 time. How many's left over? 9 minus 8? 1. And then we put it over what number? 8, okay? 1 and 1/8 of a foot is the area of this rectangle, okay? So that's how to figure it out with fractions. And so that's one of the things that they, learning how to multiply these fractions is one way that we put that into practice is in area and perimeter, because you oftentimes have a fraction in your measurements because they don't always, a room is not always made to be in round numbers like 2 and 4. So sometimes they've got fractions that you have to contend with. So before we do the square, I just want to review place value because I know that this is on your page, and so I want you guys to see this. Let's go ahead and look at this. This is the ones place, and you guys all know that one, right? So the 9 is in the ones place. The 8, what place is the 8 in? So next number, what place is it? Tens place, right? Okay, because this would be 89, so the 80 is a multiple of 10, okay? 7 is in what place? The hundredths place, because we would say 789, right? Okay. What about the 6? It's in the 1,000 place, okay? Can you see that? I think it looks like you can see it on from my side, but hopefully you can. So that's the 1,000s place, right? So as we go, we know that that first one is the ones place, right? And the second one, these three are pretty simple. Ones, tens, hundreds. We've got 1,000, and we're going to repeat the 10 and add 1,000 to it, 10,000s. Okay, so 5 is in the 10,000s place because it would be 50,000, 50 being a multiple of 10, right? Okay. 4 would be the 100,000s place, okay? So this is the thousands column. This is the units, the first three, the ones, tens, hundreds. Then we've got 1,000, 10,000, 100,000, okay? When we go to the next comma, we have hit the millions section, okay? So we've got 1 million, and then 10 million, and 100 million. You see how we just repeat ones, tens, hundreds every three numbers, ones, tens, hundreds, but we add thousands to these three, we add millions to these three. If we had them up here, the same thing would happen with the billion section, which would be the next three. 1 billion, 10 billion, 100 billion, okay? So it's a pattern, okay? This happens with all of them. Now, what is not on here, and I will write it on the board, is the after the decimal, right? Okay? So I'm going to write a few numbers. Okay, I got 7. I need to stop doing that. 5 and 1. Okay. 0.751. Now, we have the ones place right here. So we don't have a 1th place here. But our first after our decimal, our first place is what? What do you guys remember? I'm gonna come over here so I can write it. Okay. 10th place, 10th place, right? Okay. The pattern starts with the 10th, like it would be the 8 here, the 10th. Hundredth. And then thousandths, okay? So 10th, 100th, and thousandths. So it starts, the ones, we only have 1, 1. So keep that in mind. If you know in your mind, we only have 1, 1. Then we go to tens here. But if we go backwards, we go to 10th, okay? We add the TH to 10 and make it 10th. And then we add a TH to 100 and make it 100th. And add the TH to 1,000 and make it 1,000th, okay? And so the same pattern, 10, 100, 1,000, and then and we're not going any farther than that, so I won't worry about figuring out what or showing you what those are, but these three are the important ones right now, is the 10th, 100th, and 1,000th place, because these ones are the ones that we're dealing with, okay? And so when you hear a big number, when it's red, you want to make sure that you listen for if it's saying, so if this number were set, it would be, let's start with, here are the thousands. So 456,789 and 751 thousandths. is how this number from here, from the 4 on, would be read. We could read from all the way and get the whole thing, but I'll just do it from there, okay? So what I want you to do is you're going to be writing your place values on the back of this page, so just keep that in mind, okay? I'm gonna move this chart. And I'm going to bring the square back over here. So 43 inches. So we did that, and we've done this one for area and perimeter. So we're going to do perimeter and area for this one, all right? So what is our formula for perimeter of a square? P equals 4 times side, right? What's the area formula for a square? A equals side times side. Okay, very good. P equals 4 times, what is side up there? 43 inches, okay? So 43 times 4, 12, carry the 1, 17, 172 inches. Okay, perimeter of this square is 172 inches, all right? Area, A equals 43 is our side times 43, right? 43 times 43. 3 times 3 is 9, 3 times 4 is 12. Bring a 0, put a 0 down, 4 times 3 is 12, carry the 1, 4 times 4, 16, 17. 172 right there. Okay? Add these up, 9 plus 2 plus 2 is 4, 8, and 1. Are there any decimal places? Not with this number, right? We just put our comma there for the thousand spot. 1,849. And what do we have to put for area? Square, SQ, inches. Okay? So you see, when you have a number like this, it is normal to have a number over 1,000. This one's almost 2,000. So when you check your answers, okay, 4 times 43, 172, that sounds comparable, right? It sounds like a good, that you would have done that math would be close. And so when we check them, we're checking to see if it makes sense. And so multiplying these two, when we multiplied it out, yeah, it makes sense to have over 1,000, right? Almost 2,000. And so that's how to do area and perimeter of a square. So on your page, the first section is just filling in area or perimeter is really what you're putting in each of these blanks is area or perimeter. So if it matches for area, you write area. If it matches for perimeter, you write perimeter, okay? So I want you to do all of those for section 2. Do the black problems. You don't have to do the green, do the black problems. Section 3, do one of the rectangle and do the square, okay? So one of the rectangle and the square. So A or B and then C. And then story problems. Go ahead and do both of those. They kind of go together, so do both of them. Turning it over on the review section, section 5 is what we were talking about with the place value. So I want you to do all of those, write them, write out the words, okay? So we're not writing 1 for ones or 10, the numbers 1 0 for 10. You need to write out the words, okay? And try to make sure that you spell them correctly. For section 6, you can pick 2 of them. Section 7, you can also pick 2 of them. Section 8, I'm gonna have you do all of that because it is just a, just finding the area and the perimeter for both of these. So use that space next to it to do the multiplication and then write the answers in on the lines there. Make sure for all of these, if you have area, that you put square, SQ, before you put yards or inches or feet, okay? And then 9, go ahead and do all of them. You're just multiplying by 9. I think that's fun. So go ahead and work on this page, and there isn't any homework for this lesson, so you're just doing the page, and then we will see you in the next lesson.